Hello, friends. Your Uncle Andy here, coming to you on November 11th. Happy Veterans Day with what we hope are some winning sports picks. Going to get right into it here. We do have in the Juice Reducer parlay the New York Knicks tonight, so we wanted to get the video up in order for you to go ahead and get to the window. We've got all of our football plays for the weekend tied into it. We thought we better strike while the iron is hot. I was not seeing a lot of just slam dunk things that I really liked, money line wise, that we could put in as parlay parts. So we are going to go with the Knicks tonight. I know it's a little perilous to use NBA and the Juice Reducer parlay. Probably no more or less perilous than some of the things we've experienced over the past couple of weekends. But if you look at all the statistics, all the metrics, the Knicks really should win this game tonight. Probably ought to cover the number of 9.5. It's probably gotten above 10 at this point, just simply because the public money is really starting to roll in as people are coming home from work, firing up the betting apps and seeing what's available tonight. I think that game's even on TV, so I think that also is going to go ahead and help drive money towards the Knicks. But keep on following us over at Uncle Andy Sports. We've been posting there lately. Great night last night. I gave out Santa Clara money line to beat Xavier. That happened. It was plus 123 when I gave it out. Sharps were um, flocking to Xavier all day, and Xavier, I think, in some books, got to be a minus 4.5 point favorite, and so then that drove up the value on Santa Clara. So Santa Clara, by the time the game started, was plus 150 on the money line in some places. So I was too early to the party. I should have waited, but every indication I had, Santa Clara was going to cover the number. I thought they were going to win. That's why I gave it out. So that was a good hit for all of us. But I should have waited. I'd have made 37 more cents on the dollar. But they can't win them all. Keep on following us over at the Free Plays Daily contest at Twitter. I'm on a 3-day run over there. So a lot of good handicappers over there. Today is a single. Love William and Mary at Richmond plus 10.5. Love the Knicks tonight, money line, like I said. Also, Josh Hart to score 9+ points. He's on a 4-game run of scoring at least 9 points. So you got to figure if the Knicks win, this is what we call a correlated parlay. So we think if you think the Knicks are going to win like I do, then it's a good chance Josh Hart is going to be at least somewhat involved and score 9 points. And so I was able to get Josh Hart at 9 points at like minus 129, hook it up with the Knicks, and now we got a positive payout. I think Knicks by themselves is like minus 400 or something on the money line. So combine those two things together, and we've got a plus payout. Love Oklahoma City tonight. Almost put them in the Juice Reducer parlay. They are playing Steph and the Warriors. These are not your dad's Warriors, though. So I do think Oklahoma City is going to prevail. But in the NBA, there's always the chance of the clunker. I don't see a clunker tonight with the Knicks. I don't even see a clunker tonight with OKC, but it just something about it. We didn't want to torpedo all of our parlays by adding the Thunder on there, and it really wasn't going to add that much value to the bet, so really no reason to do that. I'm going to pair OKC with the Hurricanes. Love the Hurricanes tonight at home. Love the Canadiens tonight at home against the Kings, only minus 102, very short number. Um, this may be one of those things where if the line's too good to be true, if you smell a rat, then there probably is a rat. It probably is too good to be true. But I'm going to go ahead and roll with it. I like the Canadiens at home. We're going to go yes goal in the first 10 minutes, Leafs and Bruins. We're going to throw the Patriots on there to get it at least a little more manageable with the juice. The yes goal in the 10 minutes, first 10 minutes prop with the Leafs and the Bruins was like minus 166. That's too much to lay. Love the Patriots money line Thursday night. So we are going to go ahead and do it as a 1 unit play to pay 1.8 units. Love the Ducks. They've been hot. If you want to get squirrely, go ahead and take the Ducks money line against Colorado. The Ducks have been upsetting people lately. I mean, I don't think the Ducks are really going to go into Colorado and win the game. Wouldn't surprise me. But I do think the Ducks keep it close. And at that price, plus 1.5, with the Patriots in there, we've got a plus money payout. Sharks, same thing at the Wild. Wouldn't shock me if the Sharks went to the Wild and won that game, but I feel better about putting them on the puck line with the goal and a half. I think they could win the game, though. I really do think that. Throw them at the Pats, throw them in with North Carolina and Clemson hoops tonight, playing a couple of cupcakes, and we get it to a plus money payout. Over 5.5 parlay, Leafs and Bruins, Ducks and Avs. Love that. If you look at all their statistics this year, they're flying over the total. I think the Leafs are like, I think they've only had like one game go under the total. So look at all these teams and their aggregate scores of their last 5 games. blowing that 5.5 number out of the water. So like it at a plus money payout. Caps team total under 3.5. And only one game out of the last five of the Capitals scored four or more goals. So I love this staying under the number, and they're at Carolina. Carolina does not give up a lot of points in their building. So uh, Caps team total under all the way. Throw the Knicks and the Thunder in there for again another plus money payout. Saturday. I'm not a big, lock of the week guy, mega mortal, lock of the century guy, but I do like Saturday Southern Miss minus the 5.5. Go ahead and lock that in. I bet that number will be gone, might be gone by now, but I love Southern Miss at home laying the 5.5. So under the juice reducer parlay, we've got the Pats, Knicks, A&M, Indiana Buckeyes. It's going to be minus 230, 65% probability of hitting. We're going to throw that in with the Dolphins, like the Dolphins against the Commanders. Daniels will not be back for the Commanders. Dolphins, for some reason, this is the NFL, playing really well these past few weeks. Wouldn't have thought that. Certainly didn't expect them to beat the Bills the other day, but I do like the Dolphins playing in Spain, I believe. Chargers, like the money line, no big explanation here. Bears and Vikings over 42.5. I teased that number down from whatever it was, but I've got it at plus 117 now. And these two teams are a combined 12-5 to the over this year. And they played already this year once on September 8th, and that game also went over. So over all the way. Bengals team total over 16.5. So in other words, I just need them to get 17 points. I'll take that in my juice reducer parlay with a plus 110. Bengals 5-1 to the over this year. Bengals, I think, are going to give up a lot of points as well. So Bengals just eke out 17 points against the Steelers. I think it can happen. Ravens and Browns teased that number on the over down to 35.5. These two teams combined this year are 11-7 to the over. And believe it or not, this may sound weird. You can look it up for yourself, though. The last four meetings between the Browns and the Ravens have all gone over the number. Now, granted, the number was probably low, 36, 37, 40, really low overs, but the last four have gone over, and these two teams are over teams this year, if you can believe it. Chiefs and Browns under 51.5. These two teams are combined 13-6 to the under this year, and their last four meetings have also stayed under the number. So under all the way in Chiefs and Broncos. And if you saw that Broncos game, was it last Thursday night? A real snooze fest. We've had a lot of clunkers here in these primetime games. Not a lot of points scored. Broncos not scoring a lot of points. Pretty good defense. We'll take the under. Just a few college plays. We're at the point in college now where my number and the sportsbook's number are very, very similar. I see a typo here. I don't have Pitt plus 2.5. That would be a silly line. They're getting 10.5. I teased it up to plus 20.5, and that's going to be a plus 109. We got Marshall and Georgia State over 55.5. Love this number for these two. By itself, it's minus 255, but the way we teased it, we're getting it plus 115. And these two teams are a combined 13-5 to the over this year. The last three meetings between Marshall and Georgia State have also gone over the number over. So we'll go ahead and take them to go over. New Mexico's been really good to me this year. They're going to continue being good to me. They, in their last three games, have a point differential of plus 8.7. In other words, they're beating everybody by 9 points at least. Now here's the kicker. Colorado State in their last three games, they're averaging a losing margin, in other words, negative 24 points. So in other words, they have a deficit of 24 points a game on average. So that's not good. For those who don't understand, well, we're going to take the team with the plus 9 point differential as opposed to the team with the minus 24 point differential. You don't need to know much about math to know that, just trust me. Going to go Alabama money line at home against Oklahoma. I don't think Oklahoma's going to go into Tuscaloosa and win the game. I mean, no big handicap here. Love Iowa in the points. And a lot of you are saying, well, Iowa just lost. They just lost that heartbreaking game to Oregon. That's true. Iowa probably should have won the game. They were winning in the waning moments of the ball game. They did cover for us. But let's go back in time to the start of the 2022 season for Iowa. The Hawkeyes, coming off the loss, they're 9-4 against the spread over the past three seasons. Since 2022, they're 20-12 against the spread in conference play. They are 5-3 as an underdog on the road and against the number, and they're 11-5 against the number overall while being a road team. So all these trends line up. I think Iowa is more than capable of keeping it within the number of the 6.5. We went ahead and teased it up to the touchdown and a half. And here's another reason why. I think South Carolina also, or not South Carolina, USC is who they're playing, not SC, USC. I think the Trojans are in a look ahead spot to an old rival of theirs that they're playing next week, who they have on deck in Oregon. And I think it's a much bigger game to them. This is just something they've got to get through. This is like shoveling the driveway to USC. And I think they may be in a look ahead spot. So that's another reason we're going to go ahead and go with Iowa. Um, Iowa maybe even dark horse to win the game, but I think USC wins. So we've got some same game parlay opportunities here. You could maybe do USC money line, USC minus 1.5, 2.5, whatever, and then do come back with Iowa plus the 14.5. And so I think that would also be a really good middle opportunity here. That's all for us. We wanted to get everything out there to everybody so you can get to the window with that Knicks game. Like I said, love the Knicks tonight. I really do think they're going to win. Normally wouldn't put NBA in the juice reducer parlay, but just feel pretty strongly about it. All the trends point that way. All the data points that way. All we can go by, as I say, we've maybe had a couple of times we've stubbed our toe here the past couple of weeks, but I can only go with the data and the information and the trends lead me. So any bet's a good bet as long as you can justify it. It has to be more than, well, I like the color of their uniform, or I have a crush on so and so quarterback. If you've got a statistical reason for it, a reason in the trends, a reason with the spot, like we're fading the Blue Jackets tonight in the Play of the Day contest because the Jackets are in a bad spot. They're in their third game in 4 nights. They're on like their fifth game in like 8 days, and they've been on the road since November 1st. So they're over this road trip. It's been a horrible road trip. It's been a house of horrors on the West Coast for the Jackets. And so that's what we call like a spot handicap. And so, if the Jackets and the Kraken played 7 games, I think the Jackets would probably win 5 of them. But they're not doing that. They're playing one game tonight against a backdrop for the Blue Jackets of all these things I've just discussed. So that's why I'm taking the Kraken tonight. So wouldn't normally pick against the Jackets, but wanted to get that out there. That's my play of the day pick in the contest. So we hope everybody has a good night, and then happy Veterans Day to everybody. And if you tail us to the window, we will cash tickets together. Good night, everybody.